Hello students, in this session we will discuss the case B, that is short circuit at one end of the transmission line for or using equal area criteria for transient stability analysis. Okay, so previously we have seen the case A where the suddenly mechanical power is increased. Here we have considered second case where the short circuit at any end of the transmission line, whether it may be at generator end or maybe at load end. Okay, so let us consider a single machine infinite bus system as shown in figure, where the machine is connected to an infinite bus through this parallel transmission line. Clear? So yes, the single machine which is connected to an infinite bus through this parallel transmission line, consider the square as a circuit breaker. Here, here transmission line reactance 1, 2, machine reactance, direct axis reactance XD, and E dash angle delta, infinite bus voltage, which you can write IB, that means infinite bus voltage is V angle 0, mod V angle 0. Clear? So here we have considered a single machine infinite bus system, and machine is transferred a power to the infinite bus through this parallel transmission line. Now before any fault or under normal operating condition, the power transfer by the machine under normal operating condition or before any fault condition, the power transfer. So yes, before fault, or we can say pre-fault, a power transfer by the machine into the system which is calculated, or say it is PE1, that means pre-fault power transfer by the synchronous machine to the infinite bus, which is PE1 E dash V divided by total reactance, which is XT dash plus the parallel combination of X1 and X2, X1 X2 here into sine delta, or you can write as Pmax sine delta, equation number 1, which shows the pre-fault power transfer by this machine, pre-fault power transfer by the machine to the infinite bus. Clear? Now let us draw the power angle curve, draw the power angle curve from this equation number 1. So just P delta curve or PE delta curve. So just indicate the PE1, which is power transfer at during normal condition. Power transfer during normal condition. Here. Okay. So here let us say the power transfer during normal condition will indicate by this green line. So here it is somewhere over here. If you mechanical power input is PM, and with respect to that you will derive or get the electrical output power as PE1, and at an angle delta 1, or I can say delta 0. Clear? With mechanical power input PM, will get the electrical power output PE1 at an angle delta 0 from this equation number 1, or we can say operating point A. Clear? Now let us consider the fault occur at the generator end. Fault occur at this generator end in transmission line 2. means over here. Consider this three-phase fault which is occurred at the generator end in transmission line 2. So here, yes, it is X2. Yes. So the generator is isolated from this system. Generator is isolated from this infinite bus, and the equivalent circuit for during fault condition. First of all, just consider the fault at the generator end on transmission line 2 and the during fault condition. Yes, during fault condition, the equivalent circuit fault condition, the equivalent circuit which is given as this generator XD and this a ground, and here the second portion of the system. The generator is isolated from this system. Clear? X1, X2, the fault is somewhere over here. Then the generator is isolated from this infinite bus. V angle 0, E dash angle delta. So this figure number 2 or say figure number 3 will shows the during fault condition or for during fault power flow condition of the system, during fault power flow condition of the system. Clear? So it is indicated that, or from this figure number 3 we can say that during fault the power transfer by the machine into the system which is 0, as this line is under a faulty condition. So the power flow will be cut from this system. So let us write down, thus during fault period the power transfer by the machine, let us use the different color. So during fault the power transfer by the machine which is PE2 is equal to 0. Now let us indicate the PE2 in this P delta curve. So here is the normal operating condition, and suddenly the fault is occur at this transmission line, so the power transfer will become 0. Clear? Power transfer will become 0, and therefore the rotor is accelerated, and hence the angle delta is increased. So it is increased to delta 0 to delta C. Clear? It is increased to delta 0 to delta 1 or delta C. So let us again understand, if the fault occur, then during fault the power transfer will become 0. That means the operating point A is shifting from A to B, where the power transfer is become 0 due to this fault at the end of the transmission line. So the synchronism will lost if this fault is not clear in time. Clear? So if the circuit breaker of these two end of the transmission line is gets open, if both the circuit breakers are gets open, and just disconnect this healthy transmission line, faulty transmission line from this both the end, then the line is open at a time TC. The line is open after the protection scheme apply. The line is open at time TC, that means clearing time, corresponding angle delta C. Clear? Will get some clearing time, that means after the fault the relay will indicate the fault is there, CT will measure the fault current, relay will indicate the fault, and the circuit breaker will take an action. Then after the fault will clear. So this time is that time is known as TC, which is clearing time. According to that, clearing time, you will get an angle delta C. Clear? Which is the disconnect the faulty line. That means TC climb at TC time, it will disconnect the faulted transmission line. And therefore now after this the power flow is now restored via this healthy transmission line. Clear? So now the power transfer will become PE3 after clearing of faulty line from the system at time TC at particular angle you will get delta C. I will explain over here also in P delta curve, but let us understand here. After the fault clearing, that means you can write the pre-fault or sorry post-fault power transfer. That means after removal of this faulty line from the system, the power transfer is restored via this healthy transmission line 1. So the post-fault power transfer is given by the P3, which is equal to again P dash V divided by XD dash. Now the transmission line 2 is removed from the system, so the only reactance is remain, which is X1. Clear? Angle sine delta. So we will get the P max, say it is 3, P max 3 sine delta. Equation number 3. Yes, here it is equation number 2, which shows the power transfer during fault and after clearing of the fault, power transfer by the machine to the infinite bus, which is P3. Now let us draw the condition of P3 on the P delta curve. So after this much of time, that means from normal operating condition to fault clearing time at an angle delta C, the power transfer is restored. So let us understand by the second curve, which shows the power transfer after fault clearing. Clear? So yes, at delta C again the rotor is accelerate and angle delta is increased. That means from delta 0 to delta C, and after clearing of the fault the power transfer is restored. Clear? Power transfer is restored. So here we will get somewhere over here, which is, say it is delta 2, here it is a delta max. In many cases both are equal, that means delta 2 or delta max both are equal. Clear? So let us apply the condition of equal area criteria. That means here after fault clearing the operating power or angle at delta C will get the point C. Clear? Okay, C and D. So let us understand by point wise. A will shows the normal operating condition of a system. Then B to C will shows this during fault operating condition, and C to D will shows the post fault, that means the condition of system after fault clearing. That means pre-fault, during fault and post-fault condition of the system. But now we know very well, if the rotor is reached at the point D due to self weight and inertia, the rotor will advance furthermore. It will be maybe reach to the point E, and come back to the point again somewhere over here and oscillate, and then after it will be restored at point D. So here let us draw the area, that means acceleration area C to D, yes, just see over here, and deceleration area, that is E to D. So the system will be unstable if and only if the condition for stability is the system will be remain in stable operating condition if the area A1 which is equal to area A2, then and then the system will be in stable operating condition. Clear? I hope you are clear up to this. And yes, the system will be unstable if the deceleration area, that is A2, can be found equal to the acceleration area A1 before delta C reach to the maximum. Before this delta C will reach to this maximum or delta 2 which is available over here. If this delta C, and delta C is depends on the fault clearing time, that means how fast we can clear or remove the faulty portion of from this system. Clear? Which is delta C, and corresponding to that we will get the delta C, that means clearing angle. Delta C will indicate the clearing angle at which the fault is clear. Clear? So if we delay, let us understand a unstable operating condition. I hope you have cleared the stable operating condition. That means if we can clear the fault before this delta C will reach to the delta max, and delta C will depends on the clearing time Tc. Clear? So if let us understand the unstable operating condition, if we delay to clear the fault to clear the fault, then the delta C is further increased somewhere over here, and then let us understand this equal area criteria. So this much of portion is A2, and the rest of this portion which is A1, and hence A1 greater than A2, then the system will be in unstable, or you can say A1 not equal to A2, then the system will be in unstable operating condition. Clear? So stable and unstable operating condition with the application of equal area criteria. Okay. Next, yes, as the area A1 depends upon the clearing time. Yes, we know very well here area A1 will depend upon the clearing time, or we can say with respect to that angle delta C. So the clearing time must be less than certain value of the system to be stable. Clear? So we can say that this clearing time Tc is must be less than somewhere delta C. That means before delta C or before reaching delta C, your system will your fault will be clear. That means there is some value of an angle before reaching to that clearing angle, we can clear the fault, or somewhere over here. Clear? So which is known as, yes, which is known as critical clearing time. So here we will get at clearing time angle delta C, but before that we will get TCR, that means critical clearing time before reaching to the TC, and same way we will get delta CR, which is critical clearing angle at an value of critical clearing time. So for stable operating condition, we can conclude that we have to clear our fault at delta CR, or before reaching to the delta C. Clear? Or in general you can say that before reaching to the delta max or delta 2. I hope you have clear or understand the theory. Clear? So yes, And now it is observed that the equal area criteria help us to determine the critical clearing angle, that is delta CR. We know we can calculate the delta C or delta CR from this P delta curve, but it will not help us to calculate the critical clearing time. That means at what time the protection scheme should apply and clear the fault or faulty portion of the system. So it will be calculated from the critical clearing time, means TCR is calculated from the numerical solution of swing equation, and it is derived as TCR, which is derived as 2H into delta CR minus delta 0 divided by pi f 1 pm raised to 1 half. Here there is no need to full derivation of this equation, that means critical clearing time, and at this time we will get this particular, that means at critical clearing time we will get an angle delta CR, which is critical clearing angle, and if we clear the fault at an angle of delta CR, then this conditions always fulfill, that means the condition of stability is always fulfilled. Clear? We will get at that angle we will get A1 is equal to A2, and hence the stable operating condition of the system if the fault occur at any end of the transmission line. Clear? It may be somewhere over here also you cannot apply. Clear? I hope you are clear. Let us understand or recall again what we have studied, or the summary of the today's session. So here we have applied the equal area criteria for the case of short circuit study at one end of the transmission line for the transient stability analysis, and for that we have considered the single machine infinite bus system where the machine is transfer the power through this parallel transmission line x1 and x2 to the infinite bus. So during normal operating condition, yes, even in this P delta curve you can also indicate the power transfer. Here this first curve will show the PE1, which is you can derive from this equation 1, which is normal power transfer by the machine during normal condition. Clear? The second one is during fault condition. That means let us consider the fault at the transmission at the generator side on transmission line 2. So during fault the equivalent circuit is shown in this figure number 3, where the generator is isolated or disconnected from this whole system for the fraction of time till the fault is not clear. Clear? So at that time the power transfer by the machine to the system, which is given by this equation number 2, and obviously from this figure 3 we can say it is PE2 is equal to 0. So this is our PE2 during fault condition. Clear? Or even this point wise you can also explain that point A normal operating condition, B to C during fault condition, and C to D the after fault clearing. Clear? So clear? So at a particular time TC with corresponding angle delta C, the fault will clear. So after clearing of the fault, both the circuit breaker gets open and remove this faulty transmission line from the system. Clear? So now the power transfer is restored via this healthy transmission line. Now, but the capacity of the power transfer is reduced, as even we can show from this P delta curve also. The maximum power transfer capacity will reduce. Just compare this P max for both the curve. Clear? P max for both the curve. Clear? So from this equation number 3 we can get the post fault power transfer of the machine via healthy transmission line. Clear? Now if yes, here from this after clearing of the fault, the rotor is start accelerate, and hence the angle delta is increased, and it will transfer again the power. It will transfer again the power and try to restore the or try to regain the normal operating condition, clear, which is at point D. But we know very well, if once the rotor is start accelerating, angle delta is increased, and hence it will not reach at exact point where we desire, but due to the self weight and inertia of the rotor, it will increase more. And then after this oscillation, that means oscillate between these two boundary, it will be settled somewhere over here at an angle delta C. So yes, we know very well angle delta C, that means clearing angle, which is totally depends on the clearing time, which is TC. So according to fault clearing time, we get the delta C. So general conclusion of the theory, that we need to clear fault before the delta C. That means we will get here two different terms, TCR, which is critical clearing time, and with respect to that we will get an angle which is delta CR. That means critical clearing angle. Clear? I hope you are clear up to this. And if you have any doubt, you can ask or even mail me. Okay.